The super stiff body is a prerequisite for brilliant dynamics. I mean, a body that is soft, you immediately get influence. This, you feel that the car is just simply so controllable, absolutely predictable.
So I'm standing here with Thomas Ingenlath, of course, the CEO of Polestar, with one of your latest babies.
It's not quite born yet, that baby.
Nope.
It's still in the oven, you could say. A quite advanced prototype stage already. So these are not first prototypes. These are prototypes that come already out of production tools. And really the final testing, the final crash test and everything is going to happen with those prototypes.
Yes.
So they have already an interior where you can detect what the real thing will be like.
So how does it feel to stand here and see the cars? And we are here in England, a big operation here also.
I think it's as exciting for me as it is for you to actually witness such a development stage when things become so tangible, everything comes together, and it's a real excitement. You can imagine how much time we have spent on screens designing these cars, construction, discussions about the product details, and finally things become a real thing, and you can drive them.
It was really flat. It was nice. It was quite. I think it was. I didn't drive it, so it's hard to say, but it felt great.
No, it's a real sports car.
It felt like it turned in very well.
Sitting behind the steering wheel, having that sports car geometry, ergonomics in there.
Could you have just the highlights of this car? What's the thing that you are most proud of?
Good. We obviously have made quite an effort to get sports car proportions.
Yep.
So to have.
It's low.
It's slow.
Yeah.
It's low in that aspect that a normal damper would be sitting here.
Yes.
We made a really nice travel way. But the second thing is what we call the cowl, the height of this. You're not sitting in that where do I see anything? It's really sports car proportion in both aspects that you don't get with an ordinary architecture that you find off the shelf. That is really what all the investment went into.
Make it so low?
Engineering.
Yeah.
You really have to. You need a special front axle to be able to do that. You have to do your homework properly. Where do you position the HVAC, the heating system? Crash has to be very, very specially done for that arrangement, so that you fulfill and have all that safety despite the fact that you have a much lower dashboard. So it is just simply making a dedicated architecture. Then you can design things around it that it works that way. Next thing, doing a battery floor and still being at a height like that, it really means that you just cannot stake seat XY, which has all the electric motors stuck underneath. You actually have to make a seat where the motors and stuff is put to the side, so that you get the bum the closest to the ground. So that's where some of the elements have to be very specially done for that car in order to get these proportions. Comfort.
The legroom
you can go. I mean, you could invite still more two of your journalist colleagues, and we could have a very, very comfortable ride over hundreds of kilometers, because it just has that much legroom in the rear, and as well a really nice head clearance. Yeah. Declining seat base, so you can go in a very relaxed position there. So that's where the second row comfort was very important to incorporate into that car. We have the opportunity, and we showed that with the Roadster concept. This architecture is as well possible to be flexible. So with that sports car architecture, we can do different concepts, not only comfortable for adult cars, a 4-door GT, but as well a 2+2, even a 2-seater is possible to
So you can do more
create.
than the 5 and 6. Can be more on this platform. Can do
The
more.
future is bright. It's really the base for a whole family that we can build on it.
And why aluminum?
Well, two aspects to it. A, it's a light material with the bonding. We glue the aluminum together, and then it gets a really stiff body.
In the oven.
In the oven,
Yeah.
we bake it.
Yes.
And then it's actually stiffer than any spot welding that you can do in a normal factory. So that helps to get a super stiff body, and a super stiff body is a prerequisite for brilliant dynamics. I mean, a body that is soft, you know, you immediately get influence. This, you feel that the car is just simply so controllable, absolutely predictable. Second aspect is, of course, the question of, do you build a car that you produce hundreds and thousands of times, or do you produce a car that you produce around, you know, I mean, there's a border, 20, 30,000. Then the investment into aluminum tooling is much more favorable than investment into steel stamping. So that is another reason.
Yearly production numbers.
Yearly production of that you have for much more luxurious, expensive cars. That, I mean, it's not low volume. I mean but it's this kind of in between volume where investment into steel tools is just simply not really feasible, while an aluminum tool is much better for that.
You're saving money. We're doing a better car.
Well, it makes it possible to do a bit more dedicated special cars, which obviously is our business. I mean, that is where you're here in the league where you talk about, you know, Aston Martin, Lotus, Bentley, all these companies, of course, have this kind of, and that's why we're in the UK, this technology, the idea how you work with this material and how you build cars that are not high volume cars, but more custom volumes. That's, of course, where you find this know-how here in the UK.
And you have a dedicated engine for this, all developed by you, by Polestar.
Yeah, that's amazing. That deserves a great drivetrain, and the drivetrain has to be, of course, super powerful.
Yes.
So to get something together that has this, it's 600 kilowatt. We needed to develop the rear engine specially for this car in order to get that oomph, that torque that we have in this car here. So I think it's about 900 and something Newton meters of torque. I mean, that goes like a rocket, this car.
And will it charge as quick?
For that reason, we from day one designed an 800 volt battery pack. It's for two reasons: getting energy in fast and getting energy out fast. I mean, if you want to have this speedy acceleration again and again, repetitive way, you need an 800 volt system to really have that supply. So fast charging and fast driving both goes hand in hand with 800 volt.
And a lot of comfort also.
Comfort, yeah. Well, that's where we, of course, let the chassis engineers not just do the best dynamics in terms of handling. Of course, especially with markets in the US, in Asia Pacific, they definitely want to have that comfort in there. So it's very similar to what we actually achieved with Polestar 3, where you have that combination of a super engaging drive, but at the same time you can have your family in there and they feel really, really well in the car.
And the design, of course, is Polestar with the no window. That's sign here now.
Well, actually, that is where it all started. It was very clear that we need to be very, very good in the packaging here.
Yes.
That construction that makes the car stable. If you would have it that much higher to cater for a window, you would not get this amazing comfort and head clearance that you have in a Polestar 5. So for that reason, it's exactly in that position where you would need to have the window for a physical mirror. And then physical mirrors anyway nowadays, nobody's happy with that. You can put them it is a very compromised view in a physical mirror. It's so much
aerodynamic cars.
The camera gives you the wide angle. It gives you, even in the dark, a much better light, much better information. You don't just simply see two dots of a rear car. You actually still see the street and signs. So clearly the camera gives you the safer, the better image onto your mirror. You still look into the mirror. It's just a virtual mirror. It's a display. So that's a technology that we developed for the 5, and then we discovered that actually the Polestar 4 is as well a very good addition to that car. So the Polestar 4 has as well the same technology in there, both with this really nice aerodynamic roof.
And you're proud of this.
Yeah, I was explaining you before. I mean, obviously that muscle. I mean, this is pure muscle on that car and really gives us a spectacular shape. But it actually is a very, very difficult thing for anybody working with steel stamping or metal stamping to get to this depth of drawing the metal into the steps. So a lot of development, trial and error to make this shape possible without getting any distortion in the metal or breakage, so that really is doable in the factory. We are very proud of having achieved this amazing shape. We are passionate about the products, and we are passionate about making this really awesome cars. And I probably one of the things we should be most proud of, that we managed to give that spark, that fire into the whole team, that you really strive for getting, why would people spend lots of money for a Polestar? Yeah. Obviously because all that pageant stuff brought a great product out of it. I mean, we want to give really something valuable to the customer. And that's another thing about value. I mean, we have now invested into the 3, the 4, the 5. That is big investments for the future of the company, for great products. And it's not lost money. This money is not, down the drain. It is in great development, in great technology, in great production lines, and really a super product portfolio. And if I imagine, the company is now, 2017, 7 years. We made this 2, 3, 4, 5 lineup possible in this time. Next year we are kind of complete with the 5. We're in Goodwood here, so tomorrow you even get that glance of a Polestar 6. I think we used the money and the time that we had in the last 6, 7 years really to create the future of this brand. Now it's coming. Polestar 3, you had the test drive in Madrid. It's for real. Customer first deliveries are happening, and August is the month when the Polestar 4 will be joining, and we go into delivery of Polestar 4.
Okay, great. Good luck. Thank you for the talking.